Hey guys, so lately I haven't been listening to solfeggio frequencies as much as I usually do, but there still have been some effects that have happened. I've felt some pineal gland growth that usually comes in quick bursts. That's pretty painful, and the last couple of days it's been just a low mild dull pain, and it feels like it's just slowly trying to push itself outward, or that's not outward, slowly trying to push itself outward instead of trying to like jab outward like usual. I've been seeing static in the air. I'm going to guess that this is just energy in its rawest form. It looks like static on your television, only there's no white to it. It's just gray and blue and purple and black, and it's a little bit silver, but there's no white, and it looks exactly like television, just speckles all over the place. When I try and focus on it, it goes away, but when I have my focus relaxed on what I'm doing, I see it perfectly in my peripheral vision. I've also noticed that when watching another YouTuber, that there was a sort of thin golden white halo-ish thing around the YouTuber's head. It was like about half an inch thick, and it just went from shoulder over her head to the other shoulder, and I thought that was the maybe I was picking up light bloom possibly, but it was really low lighting conditions that she was in. So I'm thinking it's probably not light bloom, but if it wasn't light bloom, then the only explanation I have for it was some sort of halo, which when I looked at it directly, it was so faint I had a hard time picking it up. But when I didn't look at it directly and I was looking at her face, I could see it in my peripheral vision how it was encompassing her whole head. It also seemed to move with her when she moved side to side like this. It would move with her, kind of like sort of catching up with her, kind of like that. And the only two explanations I have for it is either light bloom or halo, which should probably hope that it was the second one. Another thing I've been experiencing is when light shines on an object, you usually see the object illuminated white because of the light shining on it. But what I've noticed is the object is illuminating white with the light shining on it. And then on one side, it's got sort of like a blue aura, a very clear, defined, crisp aura, like highlighting the one side of it, and on the other side it's got a very crisp, defined red aura highlighting the other side of it. So if like my lamp is turned on and it's the light is bouncing off the wall back onto the foot of my lamp, then I'll see the light reflecting off the bottom of the lamp, but the in my view, not in your perspective, in my perspective, the blue is right here, and it's very clearly defining a very sharp edge of blue line around the object on this side. And then on this side, it's a very clear, well-defined line of red surrounding the object on this side. And if I look at the object with a relaxed gaze, then this blue, very well defined line starts to come out to like that big, and it's not so well defined as you can see it very clearly starting here on the object, but then it starts to go out, and it's very much the texture of an aura. So I'm guessing that it could possibly be my eyes learning to separate light, as if you were to put a prism in a window and have it separate light onto a separate light into a rainbow on the wall. It could also be an aura, but then why would every object that I see does that? It's only blue on this side and red on this side. Those are my only two explanations for that. Either my eyes are separating the light rays, or I'm seeing the object's aura. But if I'm seeing the object's aura, why only red and blue? So if you have any theories about that, maybe you can leave them in the comments below. And I have been seeing a few light particles, both the tiny little specks of light and the round balls. Mostly I've just seen the tiny little specks of light, and they kind of dart in and out of my vision, and sometimes they're in straight lines and sometimes they kind of take a zigzag approach. So I've been seeing more of those. I see about somewhere between 5 and a dozen a day, whether they're little tiny specks or orbs. So, and sometimes they're just slowly floating for a second or two, and sometimes they've just... But I only see them for about 2 seconds. I've also been seeing the electromagnetic field that wires have. When electricity is going through it, the wire produces a small electromagnetic field, and for just a moment or two, I've been able to see the EM field around the wire once again with a relaxed gaze, and that's only happened a couple of times, and I can see which direction the electricity is going on each side of the wire. It looks a lot like the static I see in midair, only it's usually only purple, green, or blue colored, and it looks like sort of kind of a wave pattern. So that's pretty interesting. And I'm only guessing that it's the electricity's EM field I'm seeing. Could be something else, but the EM field is the one that makes most sense to me now. So if you have any comments or questions, I'd love to read them in the comment section below. Until next time, bye for now.